welcome back to Nintagious. Last time we were playing Skyward Sword. Last time we played Mega Man, though, we finished, I think we played all of Mega Man 7 in one sitting, and then we started Mega Man 8. We beat Tengu Man, Clown Man, Grenade Man, Frost Man, and Aquaman, so we have 3 Robot Masters left. This one shouldn't take too long to finish, maybe an hour, and then we'll move on to Mega Man 9. Which, Mega Man 9 goes back to the more iconic NES look, as well as Mega Man 10 also does that. Hey Dino, how's it going? See, I think last time I actually ended early because I didn't feel like doing Swordman stage. This has some, like, puzzle elements, and I didn't feel like taking that much time to do it. Yeah, I'm not sure where everyone is tonight. I mean, I know Raph can't make it tonight. Okay. This is, as I said, this is Mega Man 8. This released on the PlayStation 1, and the Sega Saturn. But I'm playing this through Mega Man Legacy Collection, which is on Switch. It's not super surprising. Sometimes it's hard to remember that the original PlayStation was like 20 years ago by now. More than. This was the only one that came out on PlayStation. A bunch of the Mega Man X games came out on PlayStation, though. Hey, Blue. There's a bolt just sitting there. Nice. My day is a bit of a mix. actually. As I mentioned a bit last week, I'm kind of stressing myself out over just what I'm doing for E3 week. And my sleep is kind of, like, not great because of it. Also because of the weather. The weather's been improving and I've been sleeping better. So that's something. I don't know, for some reason I'm, like, not in a great mood tonight, and I'm not sure why, because, like, nothing happened to, like, trigger me or anything. I'm just feeling kind of grumpy, I guess. But, all things considered, I can't complain. Hey Dan, how's it going? I'm surprised you're awake, actually. I actually meant to message you before I got started, but I was kind of running low on time and wasn't able to. Whoops, I forgot I need these. Secrets. Which, it's actually been long enough that, like, I don't remember what I wanted these bolts for. I remember at the end of the last Mega Man stream, I was like, I went and bought some upgrades with bolts, and I was like, oh, this is the one I'm getting next. But now I'm like, I don't remember what that was, so I guess we'll figure that out when we get there. Hey, Raph, how's it going? Glad you could stop in, if even for just a moment.
Nothing personal, but I've got orders. Fire slash. Impressive.
Yeah, like, you messaged me at one point today, Dan, about whether you should stream today or not. And I was asleep at the time, which is why I didn't answer, so sorry about that. I tend to forget that you completely change your schedule around at the beginning and start of every week, or the beginning and end of every week. That's really rough. I don't know if I'd be able to do that. Even altering my schedule by, like, an hour or two takes its toll on me. As such, E3 week is probably going to be pretty rough, but it's E3, it only happens once a year, it's worth it.
Nice shot.
And no problem, Raph, thanks for stopping in. Yeah, if you could, like... I guess it sounds like I'm being down on myself, but I'm not. That's not where I'm trying to go with this. But if you were single like I am and alone, then you could probably just maintain that night owl schedule constantly, and it wouldn't be that big of a problem. But the fact that you do have to switch it around every weekend, that's really rough. Even when I have to do something like go to the bank and I have to adjust my schedule, I'm just living a nightmare for like a week. I would definitely not be able to do that on a regular basis. I probably don't have enough bolts to go get upgrades, so I'm not gonna do that yet. Why the caps, Dino? Yeah, I've talked to some other streamers, like, I only stream, like, 20 hours a week, and it's like, it feels like a full-time job, because, like, it's not just the stream hours, like, you're working on other stuff in between the streaming, and it's like, it's a lot of work. That's why the last few nights I've been like, when I'm done streaming, I don't do anything else. I've been trying to give myself some time off. Because for a while there, I was always like, I was working on setting up something new for the layout, or I was making a whole new layout because I had to make a whole new one for E3, or I was drawing new thumbnails, or it was constant. Okay, Dina, that's fine, but lay off the caps, please. Or I'm gonna have to tell, Master Hand to start policing that. Which I don't want to, because I feel like I shouldn't have to. Whoops, whoops. These guys are kind of dicks. I messed them up pretty quick, though. I'm actually not sure how to destroy those things, but I think that's alright. And it's kind of funny because, like, me, on the other hand, I'm thinking about, extending my stream hours after E3. Because I feel like I don't stream enough. Actually, those like Rhino guys are really weak. They're also in Mega Man and Base, and they take like a year and a half to kill on that game. A lot of these stages just kind of feel like they don't have anything going on, you know? Whoops. I know it's a tough decision for you to make too, though, because like, I know you like the niche you've settled into. Niche? I'm not sure which one it is, but and like, you're right from what you've said. Like, you mostly picked to stream that late because of it being, because that there's nobody else streaming at that hour, and it's like, and you're mostly right. When you're not streaming, I usually have like blocks of time throughout the night where there's just nobody else to watch. Unless I'm down for watching Fortnite, of course, and then there's thousands of people to watch. But not really interested in that. Hey, Ink, how's it going? And Game Kid, how's it going? How is everyone tonight? Well, that was bad. What am I doing? But yeah, 8 hours it's a long time to stream, like, and I've certainly been to a few of your streams where, like, I think you're really good at hiding when something's, like, frustrating you, but every now and then I'm at one of your streams where I'm like, you're really kind of wishing that you only streamed for, like, 6 hours, aren't you? Because, like, you kind of run out of things to do every now and then. Like, it hasn't happened with, like, Donkey Kong Country, but, like, there was, like, a Mario Odyssey night where it was like, well, I'm done, now what? So that can be tough, too. Sometimes it can be difficult to fill 8 hours of time, is really all I'm saying there. Barry Jerry Blue Ball? That's why, like, a bunch of these guys wanted to see me do more Pokemon Quest, and I was like, you really can't fill even a 4-hour stream with Pokemon Quest. You kind of run out of things to do. And that's why, like, I think when somebody asked you to play it, I was like, there's no way Dan could fill an 8-hour stream with Pokemon Quest. Like, just absolutely not. Even if he wanted to play it, it's just not gonna happen. I don't think that happens too often, though. I'd say more often than not, we actually get to the end of the 8 hours and it's like, it's over already. Like, I don't want it to be over yet. Yeah, I know that can be a mix. Sometimes, like, some streamers are really against switching games in one night, and I'm kind of not sure why. I understand the perspective of, like, well, you want the stream archives to be accurately labeled so that people know what they're getting into. Like, I understand that, but yeah, sometimes it's like, I've even done it. I think, was that one of the Skyward Sword nights, I think, where it was like, I got to, like, 11:30, I usually end around midnight, and I was like, I don't really have anything to do for 30 minutes, so it's either I'm gonna play something else, or I'm just gonna stop playing. And yeah, I am gonna go. I already have plans set up to go see Incredibles 2. I'm excited about that. Well, I'm not gonna be able to do this one. He's gonna kill me at some point. Whoops. Yeah, usually if I'm completely switching gears into something like, well, I just played 3 hours of this and now I'm gonna play 3 hours of that, then I will switch. I will drop the stream and start over. The thing is like, as a smaller streamer as I am, I get kind of paranoid about doing that because I'm afraid that everybody's gonna leave. Because I've had that happen before, where I drop the stream and I'm like, alright, I'm gonna come back in like 5 minutes with a different game, or, oh, I'm gonna go get something to eat, I'll be back in like 15 minutes with a different game. And then I start it back up and there's just no one watching. And I feel like I just committed stream suicide. But let's be real, you're big enough for that to not really be a concern. Even though I imagine sometimes you are still concerned about it, because pretty often you seem surprised that there are like so many people watching. I'll catch up with chat in just a minute. I'm seeing it flying upward out of my peripheral vision. I need to, okay, what I missed. Janebo, welcome. Janebo? I might be messing that up. I think I came to one of your streams once, actually. It was a long time ago, though. Not a long time ago, it was a couple weeks ago. You were playing Breath of the Wild. Welcome to the stream, though, and thank you for the subscription. I might get Paladins once it goes free to play. I tried Paladins on PC once, and I didn't really care for it. But once it's free to play, it's like, what do I have to lose? So I might grab it and see if anyone wants to play it. It's not something I'm super excited about, to be blunt. Alright, I really don't... So I already got lower energy spent on weapons, and you get extra energy from pickups. I think I wanted to get the energy balancer too. Oh, did that hit 340? Sweet. I haven't really been watching that because like the sub number fluctuates so wildly at times. And sometimes it doesn't update properly. Like, I don't know. It can be hard to keep track of. Yeah, I don't know. It might have been when I had really bad... When I was living in Virginia and had a really bad internet. Like, I remember downloading Paladins. I think I might still have it installed, even. And I think I played it for like 5 minutes, and it just didn't do anything for me, so I just didn't stick with it. The thing is, weapon energy is like so unimportant in this game. I feel like I could probably... I'm just gonna save my bolts for now. Thanks, Roll. I use, for the sub count, I use... Crap, is it called? Hold on. Stream labels? It's the Streamlabs one that just dumps it to a text file, and then you can, put it up on screen however you please. I don't really like a lot of the websites because they don't really give you much customization. Especially when I have, like, a specific font that I like to use. Oh yeah, this stage is really trippy. Just go with it. Whoops. We are off to a good start here. And yeah, Game Kid, there was definitely a time where people were like, wow, they're really stretching for Robot Master ideas at this point. I'm thankful that most of the, like, we don't know the names of all the ones in 11 yet, but we've seen all their designs, and I think they're pretty solid. There's nothing where I'm like, wow, like, this is all you got. So I think we're doing pretty good on that one. Oh my goodness, why is this just going so poorly? Oh my goodness. Have I gotten dead pixels? I don't think that can cause dead pixels. Like, I don't think software can cause dead pixels. I might be wrong, though. Jeez. I'm gonna have to pay attention a little bit better. That was probably a fluke, Game Kid. I'm pretty sure software can't cause dead pixels. I don't think that's how it works. But I also haven't done challenge mode yet. Or is it, like, only there while you're playing challenge mode? If that's the case, it's probably not actually a dead pixel. Seriously. Oh my goodness, I did it again. What else have I missed here? You probably only get the Kratos skin on PS4. And alright, Dan, thanks for stopping in. You probably left already, but I'll be here for a while. Why is this stage just giving me all the trouble? This is terrible. That for safety. Unless there's a character in Paladins named Kratos. I can't imagine you'd get that skin on anything other than PS4, though. In before Kratos for Smash, I guess. Do this. Stupid maze. And Johnny Bo, you said earlier that you're wanting to pick up these collections. Have you played these games before, or would that be a first-time thing for you? Because I have had a lot of people ask me, like, if they haven't played any of the games, which one should they start with? And I'm like, well, 100% absolutely Legacy Collection 1. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the X Collection, too. There were some... Like, some of the X games were really bad, but, like, there were others that were really good, too, so... This is, like, the worst stage to be on autopilot in. Damn, I think I'd want that. No, that I want left open. Alright, well there's the exit. There's a bolt here somewhere, though, that I'd like to get. Oh, back here. Capcom's finally starting to lighten up a little bit, though. Only a little bit, though. Really only a little bit. I'm probably wasting a lot of time trying to find this bolt, so I actually might say screw that. No, not this way. It's not so much what we've done to them. It's like, I can't speak for every developer, of course, but like a lot of developers that have been around for a really long time, they're still holding a grudge against Nintendo for what happened in the goddamn 80s. It's really ridiculous. Like, they absolutely need to get over it. And then other developers are just, they're pissy because Nintendo consoles aren't super powerful and therefore they're harder to port to. Damn it. There. Let's get the hell out of here. Just to probably die straight away, because I have no health. Basically, back in the 80s when, like, the game industry was still, like, really young, like, Google the video game crash of 83, I think it was. I'm sure you've heard about Atari's ET and, like, the problems that caused, and it's kind of an extension of that. Like, game companies were starting to, like, oversaturate the market. They were starting to make way too many games, and it was causing a problem. And not only were they making a lot of games, but they were making a lot of bad games, and there was no quality assurance. So that's when Nintendo started their, like, the Nintendo seal of approval and stuff, and they started kind of, like, they tried to police things to like, in the interest of making the industry healthier. And it worked, but, like, they also, like, I'm trying to think of, like, the best words to use for this, because I don't want to, like, get my facts totally wrong, because it's been a while since I've read about all this stuff. But they started being very strict about what third parties could or couldn't do. They started, like, they started making contracts that, like, third parties could only make so many games a year for their console. They couldn't develop for other consoles. It was very, perhaps, over the top. And it was in the interest of the industry, because, like, at that point Nintendo had saved the industry from the crash, so they were kind of, like, taking it into their hands and, like, considering it their responsibility, so they were doing what they felt was responsible. But a lot of third parties did not like them for it. And a lot of... With the way business works in Japan, they're very, they hold grudges about that sort of shit for, like, a long, long time, because a lot of the companies are, like, family-owned. Like Capcom. So it's, like, these people that are in charge at Capcom are still the same people that were in charge back then, so they still hold a grudge against Nintendo for doing that, and making things difficult and not just letting them do what they want. Square Enix is kind of the same thing, but that's like a different story entirely, why Square Enix doesn't really like them. And even then, Square Enix has kind of come around. I think Square Enix is more of a, they don't like that the consoles aren't powerful enough. Because they publish all sorts of shit for 3DS, but I guess you could make the argument there that, where else are they gonna go for handheld games? So they kind of had to go with 3DS. But yeah, it's definitely not something they hold against Nintendo players, because that would be foundless. Like, what could they hold against us? Like, if anything, they should love us, because no matter how much Capcom treats Nintendo like shit, we still buy their games. So, if anything, they should be like, these guys are great, because they... we regularly shit on them, and they're still like, oh, fuck yeah, new Monster Hunter? Absolutely. Which is one of the things that bothers me against Capcom, but, like, I guess I don't care enough to make a stand. Like, they do very much, like, they don't give a shit about their fans. Like, they don't care what games people want or anything like that. They just make what makes money. And ultimately, they get away with it. Because we let them. But they do still make some pretty good games, so... Anyway, what'd I miss? I couldn't necessarily... And yeah, that's why Capcom is finally coming around, is because they're seeing that the Switch is flying off of shelves still. And it's like, why wouldn't you support it? It would be dumb at this point. Like, I think it's already overthrown Xbox One, like, for the most part. I might not be entirely right on that, but it's like, why would you not support something that's been such a massive success? Just because you want to hold a grudge? Like, get over it. I can't necessarily advise you, Andre, on... Welcome to the stream, by the way. I can't necessarily advise you on Paladins, because I think I mentioned on Discord that, like, I played Paladins for, like, a couple of minutes, and I didn't really care for it. I'm going the wrong way. I want to go down here. I'll probably give it a shot on Switch when it goes free, because why not? But I can't really recommend it. I wouldn't be the one to recommend it. Like, there's better people to ask. Let me put it that way. Dead pixels are a thing on everything, though. You can't get away from dead pixels. This is gonna sound kind of mean, maybe, and I don't mean it to be mean, but I think you need to, like, research what dead pixels are. Because it seems like you don't really know, like, what causes them, and... Because they're definitely not just a thing on Switch. I haven't even heard that much about dead pixels on the Switch. When the 3DS came out, that had like, you heard a lot about how, like, oh, all these 3DSs have dead pixels. And even then, that wasn't that bad. And I haven't heard anything about that being a problem on Switch. But that's definitely a thing on everything. Even, like, computers you buy, or, like, there's a chance that the screens are gonna have dead pixels. It's a defect. And I'm totally, like, not paying attention here, and I'm like, I don't even know where I'm going. This is, I said early on, this is like the worst part of the game to be on autopilot through. That's not what dead pixels are. Dead pixels are just a hardware defect. That's all they are. Like, it has to do with the screen itself. It has nothing to do with the hardware of the like, it doesn't have anything to do with like how much processing power the system's using or anything. And I don't know if you mentioned, but is that dead pixel only there when you're playing in challenge mode? If it's only there during challenge mode, that's not a dead pixel. That's a dead pixel's permanent. There's no fixing it, and it's not something that's only sometimes there. It's always there. A few laptops ago, I had a screen that had like 2 dead pixels on it, and they were just always dead. They're not always black, but they oftentimes are. Yeah, but when you stop playing Legacy, when you go and play a completely different game, is the dead pixel still there? Yeah, if it disappears, that's a graphical glitch in the game. That's not actually a dead pixel. Because dead pixels are permanent. It would be there forever. The only thing you'd be able to do to fix it is to send the Switch or the TV to Nintendo and say, well, not the TV to Nintendo, but you know what I mean. That's the other thing. Does it only show up in handheld mode, or does it show up on the TV as well? The only way to fix that would be demanding, like, if you have a warranty, you could send it in and be like, hey, fix this. And yeah, Blue, what you just looked up, that's 100% it. That's what a dead pixel is. Yeah, if it's only there in challenge mode, that's just a graphical error. I might be able to offer more insight on it if I haven't played challenge mode on these versions yet. I did on the PC versions, but I feel like I should get the energy balancer. That's so just all-purpose and useful. A lot of people really like Lucas. Doesn't Raph use Lucas a lot? I never used him in 4 very much. I used him in Brawl a lot. I never got an amiibo, though. I do have a NES amiibo from Japan, though. Alright, pay attention. I'm gonna dial it in here a bit, because, this stage can be kind of problematic, so I should be paying attention. Well, that was dumb. I don't know if I'll ever do Smash 4. Especially depending on when Smash 5 comes out. Because, like, I personally find Smash 4's online to be kind of unplayable. I hope that 5 has better. I need to stop sucking. This is embarrassing. I tried to, I was thinking about doing an unlock-a-thon for 4 at one point, even though there's not a whole lot to unlock in that game. But I would have to delete my save file, and I don't really want to do that. I've talked about the analog stick thing a little bit before. Does it always happen? Because here's the thing. Like, this has been a thing since N64. It's just like the way controllers work. Switch might have failsafes against this, though. I'm not sure, because I haven't had it happen on Switch. But when you are... This goes for anything with an analog stick. When you're turning the controller on, it has to find the default position for the analog stick. So if you're pressing the analog stick in any direction when the controller's turned on, it's going to set that as the default position. So if you're holding left on the stick, like, even if it's not intentionally, if you have the controller sitting face down and the stick is depressed in one way, when the controller turns on, it's going to set that as the default position, and then your character's going to be stuck moving to the left. So that is something that you can fix sometimes if you just reconnect the controller and be sure not to touch the stick. It should fix it. However, if there's something wrong with the hardware itself that's causing it to do that, then there's not a whole lot you can do. I think Blue said she has problems with one of her sticks that does that. And resetting it, like, never fixes it. Oh my goodness. I've said it before, and I'm really feeling it on this stage. There's a slight input delay on the Legacy Collection, and it screws me up a lot. Pretty much all of these jumps, I've pressed jump before he plummets off the cliff. It's just I didn't press it early enough. I think that's my one gripe with the collection, is it feels like there's just this ugly input delay. I mean, to be fair, part of it is that I'm sucking, and I need to stop. Yeah, unfortunately, Joy-Cons are, like, really expensive, too. And I don't think you can buy just one, can you? I think you have to buy them in pairs, so that also sucks. I'm still thinking I'm gonna have to get a Pro Controller before, maybe not necessarily before, but I think sometime during the lifespan of Tennis Aces I'm gonna want to get one. Oh my god. It wouldn't surprise me if you can buy them alone now. Because, like, you can buy, like, all of the Switch stuff on its own now. Like, you can buy docks. I think you can buy tablets, like, without docks and without Joy-Cons, like... So it wouldn't surprise me. But yeah, it's probably cheaper to just get them in pairs. Thank God. Whew. You can only swear when you were 12. I mean, remember I was talking about adding that, like, swearing moderation rule, too. So you guys might want to keep that in mind. Because I'm perfectly okay with swearing, but I get kind of, like, when I see somebody dropping, like, 3 fucks per sentence, then I'm kind of like, you know, lay off, edgelord. So... Mostly, I think it's just that I find it refreshing when I go to, like, Dan's streams and people aren't cursing constantly. It's like, wow, there's, like, actual conversation. You don't have to filter out all the fucks to be able to understand people. Grab the thing! Damn it. There we go. There's a life up there, which would have been nice to get, but that's okay. Damn it. I thought you didn't want spoilers, and that you weren't gonna watch. Also, I love something, I love how I was like, oh, I might start cracking down on swearing, and Andre is just like, no, fuck you, I'll curse all I want. Like, okay, way to miss the point. I perhaps think a little bit too much lately about how, like, what new viewers see when they come into the chat. Because I think that's part of the first impression of a channel, is not only are they going to look at what's going on screen, but they're going to look at what sort of community there is. And if you just got a bunch of kids screaming fuck, 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 it's like, that's going to turn some people off, I think. Like I said, I think it's that I've been to streams that are more family friendly, and it's like refreshing that there isn't constant cursing. Even though I'm being realistic and, like, there's no way I could actually be family friendly. I swear way too much. Hey Marco, how's it going? Also, I wish you could ban the caps with spaces thing. I realized that, like, surely caps with spaces and the alternating caps was just people coming up with a way to get around caps filters, right? So I wish you could ban that shit. Cause it's annoying to watch. Not trying to call you out, just that was the first thing that I thought of. It's like, I always see people doing that, and I'm like, why? Like, yeah, like, I'm getting better in like text form of, like, I call things butts a lot when it's being like, oh, my internet's being butts. It's like, that's fun. I just have to get in the habit of doing that, like, when I talk and swearing a little bit less. And like I said, I'm completely okay with swearing. It's just I kind of want to dial it back, if even just a little bit, if I can manage it. Yeah, maybe I'm way wrong. It's just, I see people doing that thing with, like, the alternating caps, and I'm always like, how did that become a thing? And I'm just assuming that's because people were like, well, we gotta get around the caps filter somehow, because we're just gonna get banned if we spam caps. So, we'll just do that, because then we're technically not spamming caps, but it's still loud and attention-grabbing. What, phone? Dear Lord. No problem, Marco. Thanks for stopping in, if even just for a little bit. It's still appreciated. I'm a little behind on chat, but I want to, like, not die here, so give me a minute. I got decapitated. Guess I'm taking beat. I don't really like the end of this game very much. I'm eager to just move on with it and get to Mega Man 9 at this point. Even though I don't really love 9 that much either. but I feel like 9 will be a more interesting game to watch, too. There. But now I gotta do it again. Okay, we good now. That was dumb. That was also dumb. Didn't really consider the fact that since I took less weapon energy usage, I could just spam Astro Crush on that guy all day. What are you gonna do about it? Usually, you don't have very many uses of Astro Crush, so that's not like enough to kill him, but this is a fun stage, if I remember correctly. I don't remember what to use here. I think this is just a Buster fight.
Come on, Treble. What? Feel it. What? What?
All things considered, he's way harder in 7. I think everybody knows how to speak Piglet. What are you talking about, Blue? There's plenty of death in those movies. Characters die all the time. I feel like you're the one that doesn't understand, Mega Man. Just saying. Aha! Figured that out way late into the game. No, I'm thinking of Disney movies. Have you not watched freaking Lion King, for crying out loud? Guess different generations, but... Now you have me wondering about, like, more recent Disney movies. The Disney movies when I was a kid, yeah, characters died. But, like, yeah, nobody dies in Frozen or Entangled. I guess the grandmother dies in Moana, but does that really count? She's not a major character. Ow. Think about what you're saying, Blue. She comes back to life as a ghost. No, she's still pretty much dead. As the definition of a ghost. But that's kind of also why I said, does that really count? Because not only was she a minor character, but she's arguably more important as a spirit. I mean, the brother in Big Hero 6 dies. Big Hero 6 is really good. But I think I get what you're meaning. I think you're meaning that, like, you'd like to see characters die with purpose, and, like, for them to, like, for the writers to commit to it. I guess that's what you're after. Because a lot of movies are, like, yeah, they kill characters, but then, yeah, they don't commit to it. Either the character comes back, or it was a really minor character anyway, or they take the easy route of just killing off the villain, because that's incredibly easy to do. And yeah, to a point, I agree. I think Pixar gets it, because with their movies, they typically deal with, like, darker themes. I think kids are more capable of dealing with complex emotions than people give them credit for. That's something I try to keep in mind as a streamer, and, like, dealing with younger viewers is, like, I think kids are. I think they're more capable of dealing with stuff like that than people think. I think if you treat a kid like a person instead of like a stupid kid, I think you'll respect that, and maybe they won't act like a stupid kid if you actually don't treat them like one. I think that's why a lot of kids act like idiots, is because people treat them like they're idiots. And that just causes them to act out because they want to prove them wrong. Again, all things considered, this guy is a total nightmare in other Mega Man games. He is really easy here. Like, I got hit like once. He didn't even use his signature move. He's kind of a disappointment in this game. But yeah, that's definitely, like, my problem is not necessarily that characters don't die, but movies will try to be, like, really dramatic and imply, like, risk of death, except you're sitting there the whole time going, come on, like, of course the character's not gonna die. Like, they're the main character. And I think that's what made, like, not to go too far into spoilers here, because I don't know who's lurking, but I think that's what made Infinity War so good, is that, like, they were willing to commit to saying this isn't a happy ending. And a lot of movies don't do that. A lot of movies will work up this suspense of, like, oh man, this character could die, but he's not going to, because that, like, of course they're not going to kill the main character. Yeah, I think in a roundabout way, like, that's why kids use bad language and like, say immature jokes and such, because it's an attempt to look more mature, because people constantly treat them like they're just dumb kids, and they want to be treated better than that. So they try and act like, oh, I'm not a kid, see? Fuck, I'm a grown-up. And then that just makes them look more immature, but, like, that's why they act out like that, because that's their mindset, I think. Hard for me to say, because I was, like, never one of those kids that felt like he had to act out to get attention or anything. Like, I didn't want attention, so it was kind of easy for me. it's also been like 20 years since I've been a kid, so I am old. But yeah, usually when a kid is acting out, like when a viewer is acting out and being annoying, and not necessarily here, but like any stream, I tend to assume that's because, like, either people treat them like they're stupid, so they act out all the time so that to get attention, or they have a ton of siblings and feel like they never get attention, or their parents just outright neglect them and they feel like they don't get attention. And I try to treat everyone with respect, but, like, sometimes it can be hard to treat somebody who's being annoying with respect. Because you're like, just stop being annoying. It takes a lot of willpower for me to not sometimes be like, stop acting like an obnoxious little shit, because nobody likes obnoxious little shits. Because, like, that's not nice. There are better ways to say that. But ultimately, that's how I feel. I feel like acting out. Nobody likes that. Unfortunately, a lot of kids get that idea due to how school works, because typically the people who act out and are bullies and such, they're the ones that, like, are popular. But it's like, ultimately, I don't think people like that. And I think that's ultimately, like, what my goal in life is to, like, not act like a person that people wouldn't like. I don't need people to love me, but I don't want people to walk away from an engagement with me being like, man, what an asshole. Like, he's just an obnoxious piece of shit. Like, that's what I just want to avoid. Don't need everyone to love me, just... It would suck to think that somebody's opinion of me would be, like, that low. Boop. I don't think you're annoying. I don't think you've really done anything that made me go, like, damn it, Blue, stop. Like, that's never been a thing, from what I remember. Nothing's immediately jumping to mind. And I feel like that's a good sign. Sometimes, like, the negativity can be annoying, I guess, but ultimately, like, it's not that. It's a different type of annoying, if that makes sense. Like, I was saying something earlier about, like, the kids that come into chat and, like, spam caps because they want to get attention. That's what I think of when I think of annoying. Or the kids that, like, spend all day reading Wikipedia and then they just throw up trivia all over chat because they want to impress people with their knowledge. It's like, that's the sort of stuff I find annoying. To boil it down even further, I find it annoying when people have to be the center of attention. And I see a lot of people, and that especially bothers me as a streamer, because it's not that I want to be the center of attention, but ultimately here, I'm the streamer, so I'm, like, the entertainer. So if somebody comes in to chat with a very loud attitude of, like, hey, everybody pay attention to me, you're taking the attention away from the streamer, and that's really rude, I think. Because people come to watch the streamer, they don't come to watch some kid yell in chat. And again, that kind of sounds really full of myself when I think. Like, that sounds very like, oh, so you think you're the center of attention. It's like, no, not necessarily, because it goes for other streams, too. It's like when I go to a stream, I don't go to a stream to see some kid in chat just being loud and attention craving. I go to watch the streamer. And I think acting like that is very much... It's trying to take attention away from the streamer, and that's what I don't like. Phone is blowing up, so I was trying to see if that was anything important, but it's not. But no, like... I mean, I've pointed this out a few times, so this isn't, like, news. I'd say the only thing that, like, bothers me about you guys, like, I've pointed out there's one too many fucks flying around. Like, the language gets a little edgy at times, and I don't really love that. But I wouldn't say that annoys me. Otherwise, like... caps can be kind of annoying. I might have to turn the bot on and say, okay, delete messages that are just all caps. Because I feel like that's annoying from, like, every perspective. You guys don't really abuse caps, though, so... I don't think that's, like, really a problem. I'd say it's the swearing where there doesn't need to be swearing that kind of bothers me. Because I like to think, like, I'm okay, like, I'm fine with swearing, of course, but I like to think I kind of save it for, like, those oh shit moments. But I've seen some people come into chat and be like, what the fuck is up? And it's like, why? Why is that necessary? You're just coming off as an edgelord doing that. Like, oh wow, look at me, I said the F word. It's like, no, stop. Stop. I could have started the stream and been like, welcome the fuck back to Nintagious. Aren't you excited? Fucking E3 is next fucking week. But it's like, who wants to hear that? Who can take somebody seriously when they're swearing that much? But I realize that probably comes off as a little, like, pot calling kettle black kind of thing. Yeah, I, like, back when I started streaming and I was, like, actively looking for other channels to watch, I found one that was playing, like, some old Zelda games, and I was like, oh, cool, this could be fun to watch. But he was like that. He was just aimlessly cursing for no reason. And I was like, I don't want to watch this. Like, grow up. I like the way Yort handles it. Like, Yort's okay with cursing, but he's also, like... he reserves it for when he needs people to realize that he's serious. And it's like, I like that. Because, yeah, I'm totally alright with it, but it's something you use to, like, emphasize a statement, you know? Cool. I have him in the... oh, crap. Have him in the pattern of inevitable defeat. But yeah, otherwise, like, I guess there was that one night where I went off about, like, depression because I was, like, getting kind of sick of how it was coming up, like, every single stream. And then I immediately felt, like, really bad afterwards. I was like, oh god, everyone's gonna be mad at me. Because I was happy that I created this atmosphere where they were comfortable to talk about stuff like that, but then I was like, hey, stop. But yeah, for the most part, I can't think of things where, like, I'm like, I don't have anything where, like, if somebody asked me if you could change one thing about your community, what would it be? It wouldn't be anything like, oh, it bugs me how they do this. Like, I don't have anything like that come to mind. At least when it comes to the people who are here, like, all the time and who I consider to be a community. If anything, I would just change, like, that I want more regulars. Like, I want more people like you guys that will show up and hang out regardless of what I'm playing. I think... Is it Flame Sword? I feel like it could also be Flash Bombs. I mean, this does take out his cannon pretty quickly when he tries that approach. So yeah, I think this is good. So the problem with this game is that you don't have energy tanks, and most of the bosses are so fucking easy that it doesn't matter. But this one is kinda tough. So I kinda have to be resourceful here. Because now we have Capsule Boy. And I think I just used the Buster on this guy. So what I'm gonna do... I do have, like, some resources here. I think this one makes Rush drop power-ups onto the field. Homing Sniper would be very useful on this guy, which probably means it's not good. Nope, doesn't even home in on him. Like, of course not. I'm fairly certain this is just a Mega Buster fight. But I feel like experimenting, you know? Well, that didn't do anything. Thunderclaw, maybe? That actually sounds kind of right. Nope. That hit him. Didn't do much damage, though. I think everything else is, like, not gonna be... That hit him, too. Flash bombs did more damage, though. Oh, shit. Okay, this might be bad. There. Good stuff. Now, that's a one-off, unfortunately. So now it comes down to me being good. This is, like, not looking good so far. Fortunately, this boss does only have 2 forms. Like, this is the final form, so... they were at least decent and didn't make it an astronomically long fight. I think this one might drop health too? Sort of. Nice. I didn't know you could even get the shuriken in this game. Kick ass. Well, you're really screwed now. Nice. Oh. Alright, yeah, that's over with. Guess I'll see what's going on my phone.
This is not good. He's been affected by the evil energy. He will die soon. If your mind is not completely taken by the evil, you'll be saved. Mega Man, I can see into your mind. So hard for justice. With your help, this planet will survive. What happened, Mega Man? He's going to be okay. He will regain consciousness soon. My job is done. I must go. I'll leave Mega Man up to you. But there's one more thing. I have a...
Can you even hear the dialogue? This game is so quiet.
Wake up, Mega Man!
I mean, part of that is like the voice acting's bad, so...
Roll! Mega Man, you're okay! Am I alive?
Yes, you are. Duo saved you.
Like, some of the characters are loud and clear, but then others are like Duo, he was like impossible to hear.
Photo Man.
Mega Man, I have a message to give you from Duo.
I can't hear Proto Man.
What is it?
He said, thank you.
Duo? Me too. Thank you. Duo.
Oh yeah, so this is something cool that I can gush about. I think I might not be 100% correct on this, but I think from Mega Man 2 onward, they held art competitions for fans to submit the designs for the Robot Masters. So all of these Robot Masters, except for the ones in the first game, were all created by a competition of people submitting designs. In this game, they actually show you their original designs at the end. Although 8 was also the last game that they did that in. They did not do that for 9 and 10, and I don't think they did it for 11. And most of them were only, you could only enter if you were Japanese. But that's because this was like back in the 90s. There was a Mega Man spin-off series called Battle Network that's a card collecting RPG. And they did the competitions for that too, and some of those actually came to America, I think. One exception is Mega Man 6, because they actually worked with Nintendo Power to bring the bring the competition to America. And like, I think 2 of the Masters in 6 were created by Americans. It might be 1 American and 1 Canadian, though. I'm kind of forgetting. But yeah, that was a pretty cool thing that they did with these games. Alright, I'm gonna go take a bathroom break super quick while this is continuing to play. Because credits are boring, and that's a good moment to take a break. So now we get to jump 10 years ahead, and also 10 years back. Because if I remember correctly, I think this game came out... I think it was 98. I don't know why 96, 97, 98. I guess it was 90... Whoops, what am I doing? I guess it was probably 96 in Japan. And then, yeah, they didn't make another classic Mega Man game for 10 years, at least. Yeah, Mega Man 9 came out in 2008. And also went back to the old NES style. That looks really bad. That looks a little bit better. It was all stretched and distorted on original size. Filter? That actually looks pretty nice. Does that look fucked on capture? No, that looks pretty good. I'm gonna do that. It's not bad. If enough people were showing up for these, I think it would be interesting to do, like... Okay, like... It would be interesting to do Buster-only runs and not use the Master Weapons, and then, like, let people pick, like, okay, who should I fight next? But for the most part, I'm just trying to clear the games at this point, so... Yeah, this looks much better. On that like, original resolution thing, I don't know if it looked that bad on capture, but on the screen in front of me, it was all distorted. It looked really bad. This is also kind of interesting. Something I don't love about this game is that they don't give you the slide or the charge shot. Because it was, like, really kind of fan servicey. So they were like, let's just make it like Mega Man 2. So that might take some getting used to, because I don't have any of the toys I've been using for, like, 6 games. These assholes. I know there's another one somewhere. Oh. Yeah, so those guys grab you and then just carry you. And some of these stages are, like, really hard. They tend to be very filled with, like, instant death pits, which I think a lot of people didn't like. Because it's like, not only is it pretty challenging, but there's a lot of opportunity to die. Kinda did that wrong. Let's reset him. Like the other early games are hard, right? But like, ultimately, in most cases you're just taking damage, so like, a little bit less of a learning curve. It's more about like, you know, getting to the boss with health or with lives. This is like, well, now you're just gonna like constantly fall into pits and instantly die. This game has really fun music, though. Gotta give it to it on that. Just wish I could slide, at least. I'm okay with rapid fire. I don't need the buster, but... I know there's one around here somewhere. Yep. I should probably grab that. If I remember correctly, bolts are like really important in this. Although now they randomly call them screws instead of bolts, I'm not sure why. Sweet! I got an achievement! Who knows why? You can check that somewhere, can't you? I think. I forget how. Hey Funk, how's it going? Yeah, it's a pretty quiet stream tonight. And this is the only weapon that Mega Man uses in Smash Brothers. Is the black hole bomb. He uses it for his final smash. The only weapon from 9 that is that he uses. I mean, we had quite a few people hanging out, like, early on. Cool. Another achievement. Don't know what that was for either. Yeah, save that shit. What, Blue? Do I even want to know? Oh yeah, so the plot with this game is that these 8 masters were actually created by Dr. Light, not by Dr. Wily. And then they kind of like suddenly went berserk. And everybody thinks Dr. Light's behind it. So he just got hauled away to jail. Just have to remember the damn order. Is it like a recipe app of some sort? I could see that being a pretty good idea. Because there's actually a wide variety of breads. So it's basically just like Breadpedia in app form. That's a little on the bizarre side. Yeah, I'll give it to you on that one. So I already mentioned the game has a lot of instant death pits. It also has a lot of instant death spikes, as you're about to see. I can just trick these guys into... Yeah. This guy's kind of an asshole. But ultimately, there are worse mini-bosses in this game for sure, so... Whatever, we cool. Whoops. Oh. Meatballs. Yeah, I think they're supposed to be boulders, but they do kind of look like meatballs. Hey, Raph, how's it going? And Raph's cousin. Whatever your name might be. I don't want that desperately. Like, look at this shit. Like, what the hell is this? Who designed... It's like something out of Mario Maker. Like, seriously. Oops. Whoops. Later. I can't switch weapons with shoulders in this? It's rough. Pretty sure you can in 10. Whoa. Okay. Despite this game being kind of difficult, the bosses are mostly really easy, especially when you use what they're weak to. Jewel satellite. Plug. Ah, Noah it is. Welcome to the stream then, Noah, even if you are living vicariously through Raph. Mother... What am I doing? Stage is like very easily trivialized. Kind of cool though. Wah, wah. Again with the water flavored candy. Well, I want that, because I'm gonna need it eventually, so... That was dumb. Yum. Oh, I thought he was just gonna keep going right off the cliff. Yum, 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 yum. Need this, need this. Conqueror! What's that mean? It's probably like I killed so many enemies or something. Alright, so that's basic. No, it's not completely full. Actually, I'm still need to use this. There we go. So if you guys remember, if you were here for Mega Man 4, I mentioned at one point that there's a point in the game where if you used the Pharaoh shot and charged it up above your head and just kind of like held it there, you could just walk away and enemies would just kind of walk into it and drop power-ups on you. That's basically what I'm doing here. Because this is what Plugman is weak to, so I want to make sure I have enough energy to actually, you know, do the thing. It's a good way to farm lives and stuff, too. I might do that later. If I need it, you know. I might not need it, because I'm awesome. Later. You love the lime flavor, so it's not water, it's lime. That yeah, and you need like an exact number of shots to take him out. Easy peasy. You guys are starting to make me hungry now. I haven't eaten yet. I might have to bust out some Oreos or something. Plug ball! That's like... Plugman is already like a weird... weird master, but then... Plug ball? Okie dokie. Okay, this is probably the hardest stage in the game. You might want to get some popcorn ready, because I'm probably gonna die a lot. It also has really cool music. So please let me know if that's not loud enough and you're not able to properly jam out, because you should be. You can trivialize this with Rush Jet, but like, pff, I'm better than that. Alright, one down. There's another one of those sections later, so it's not over yet. Oh yeah, like, and ice, right? This stage just throws everything at you. Like, okay, first you have spinning platforms over pits, then they're like, okay, here, have some ice. And then they're gonna throw wind mechanics at me next, so... yeah, this stage. It's fun, it's just, it's kind of ridiculous. I kinda want that. Thank you. Yeah, so now I have the wind pushing me. Against me. Now that we've dealt with that, now we have to deal with spinning platforms and wind, because... fuck you, that's why. I should probably get that. So now the wind is at my back, so now we have long jumps. Which this is like considerably easier than the rest. That was stupid, but I wanted that bolt. And of course I have to be way back here. Of course. I kind of feel bad for not doing Skyward Sword tonight now, Raph. Which I probably would have, but I was fairly certain you wouldn't be able to be here at all, so I was like, I'll wait. Shit. Unfortunately, now it's gonna be a while before I get back to Skyward Sword. Because I wasn't planning on doing it on Sunday. I guess worth pointing out, like, some of you might have already seen this on the schedule. Sunday I'm planning on doing a random Switch Games chill stream. So, it'll be, like, pretty laid back. I won't really have, like, a goal in mind or anything. Might spend a little bit of time just kind of like sitting here and talking, if people are into that. Maybe we'll talk about like E3 predictions or something, if anyone wants to do that. And then, yeah, I'll just play like whatever I feel like on Switch. I'm probably going to start with Pokemon Quest. And then we'll see where it goes after that. Like, I might do a run through Sonic Mania. Might just play Skyforce a bunch. And then, yeah, I'm gonna be off for a few nights because E3. And then, well, are you kidding me right now? So yeah, I'll be off for a few nights for E3, and then I think like Wednesday is gonna be when I'm planning to come back, but it might not be till Thursday. I don't know. We'll see. Oh, are they teasing a new Diablo? I don't think I saw that. I feel like it's about time for that. Diablo 3 came out a while ago. I never bought the Necro for that. Can't believe I almost one-shot this stage and then I've been screwing it up since. Why'd I even try it? That was dumb. And yeah, I don't know if I mentioned, you can trivialize this with Rush Jet. Do I have... I don't have Rush Jet. Never mind. You have to go beat somebody else first to get Rush Jet. Which some people do, I think. Or is this... You might get Rush Jet from this stage? Just to really kick you in the nuts? I don't know. I forget now. I never have used it. I've just done it legit, so... Oh right, I got up there, but then I somehow didn't get the life, and I died. Because of that asshole. That's what happened. Okay. How do I still have this many lives? With as many times as I've died right now. That sounds good to me, Noah. Raph will probably tell you that I am planning on starting a little bit earlier after E3, I think. We'll see if that actually pans out. But otherwise, I stream about 5 nights a week. I think I'd be cool with Diablo 3 coming to Switch, too. But I feel like it's been long enough that they could probably just make 4. I think I'd be okay with that. I was talking to a friend last night about how they should actually bring Hearthstone to Switch. I think that would do pretty well. Right, this is the one where I just gotta keep moving. Except for there. Derp. I don't know, Raph. Been kind of lazy about that. Guess I could try and do that tonight. I don't know if I want to do the one that lets people give them, but I like the idea of doing the one that, like, you can spend a big amount to, like, set off some sort of effect on screen and give everybody in chat pixels. Like, I like that idea. I don't know if I like the idea of just being like, oh, you can just give people pixels however you please. I guess there's no, like, downside to it, but... I don't know, I'm kind of hesitant now about a lot of chat stuff, just because I've seen other streams where chat stuff gets really spammy. So now I'm like, I'm probably not going to add the mini-games back, for example. That guy's kind of a dick. So that went pretty smoothly, all things considered. Nice. What I would like to do is, like, I like having gambling, I think. I don't think that's too bad. And then I need to come up with more effects that, like, people can make show up on screen. I think those are fun without being super spammy for chat. Whoops. Cause yeah, I went to someone's stream a couple times this week, and they actually have a hangman minigame set up in chat, and I was like, that's cool, but it dominates the chat. Like, after a while, nobody's actually talking, and even if they are talking, you can't keep up with what they're saying, because there's so much hangman spam. So I was like, I don't know if I want to do that. Fine. You little son of a bitch. Oh my goodness. You know what, I'm just gonna... Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Of course, as soon as I wanted to get hit, it was, like, impossible to get hit. Yeah, that's the thing, like... Some of the minigames are, like, really competitive, too. And I'm kind of, like, on Dan's wavelength here, where I don't really like the minigames that, like, encourage people to be like, yeah, I just kicked your ass, I'm better than you. Because I just don't really like that kind of atmosphere. I mean, you guys know that, so... There. Now I'm probably not going to be able to make the jump. Nice. Didn't think I would. Alright, I still have full tornado blow. There's another stupid weapon name. This is one of those bosses where you kind of want to, like, alternate between weapons, because you don't get much weapon energy for the blow. Yeah, I don't really know what they were thinking with weapon names in this game. Some of them are really weird. Oh, now I got Rush Jet. So, like, yeah, that's just based on, like, how many Masters you beat. I think that was 5. Just have to be careful because of those spikes. Whoops, that was dumb. Yum. Damn. Oh well. Whoops. Well, this boss is playing nice so far. So much for that. Oh, you son of a bitch. Oh, beginning of the stage. This is a good example of how frustrating this game can get. Been pretty lucky so far, but... Oh, crap. Whoops. Are you kidding me? That was like that input delay that I like complain about. This is only like the third time I've complained about it, really. But yeah, like I was pressing jump. I was holding it down when he just like fell off that cliff. Man, I was gonna say already, but it is freaking 11 o'clock already. Didn't realize it was so late. Well, thanks for stopping in, as usual. Son of a bitch. That always happens. Whatever. Get me through this stage. Which I think... I don't know. I think I might go a little bit later tonight. We'll see. If midnight rolls around and we actually have a decent number of people here, then I might end the normal time in favor of going on a hefty raid. Maybe I'll just go until we have the numbers for a good raid. Maybe that's what I'll do. Cool. Don't know what I did, but I did it. I don't know if Raph would appreciate you revealing personal information about him like that. Really seems like something that he should be the one to announce. Also, I don't think he's here, so... Also, plot twist, in case you hadn't noticed, this is the first and only female Robot Master in all of the games. What's sexist? That they only have one, or the fact that I'm pointing it out? Because, yeah, the fact that they only have one kind of maybe is. And I kind of don't like the fact that, like, they treat her as such a novelty, because there's not a female one in 10, and there's not going to be one in 11 either. And it's like, that seems kind of screwed up. And I like that when this came out, they were like, well, we made this one a woman because it made sense, because she's a mermaid, and, like, you know, it just seems like something that's more female. And I was like, but... like, that doesn't fully make sense. Especially because that, like, Magma Man was just a freaking thing that with, like, fire cannons on him. Why can't that be female? It's something I think about a little, perhaps too often, because, like, as an artist, I'll, like, whenever I'm designing characters and thinking about, like, let's put it this way. I talked to an art friend of mine once, and, well, when he was creating some characters, and he said something about how he doesn't know how to design female characters. And I was like, you design them the same way that you design male characters. You don't do anything differently just because they're female. That's doing it wrong, because that doesn't make them any different. But I think he's also perhaps too concerned with doing it properly, and in a way that, like, people won't... He's too concerned with, like, the social justice side of it. And I was like, well, if you're making any character with that in mind, you're kind of already doomed to failure, in my opinion. Because that shouldn't affect how you make a character like that. same with, like, race. Like, that doesn't change who they are. So I don't have very many of my own characters, but I was working on a set of characters once that they're all superheroes. And at one point I was like, somebody asked me, like, why is this superhero, why is it a black woman? And I was like, what do you mean, why not? And they were like, well, there has to be, like, a reason that they are, and not a white woman or even a white man. I was like, no, there doesn't have to be a reason. Finding a reason for it, that's the wrong way to do it. That's what people don't want you... The people who want legitimate equality, they don't want you to look at it like that. They want you to look at it as... like, anyone can be anything. Like, that's... I realize I'm going off on a social justice rant at the moment. And I don't mean to be. How did we even get on this subject? Right, because only one female robot master ever. That's right. I gotcha. Just had to trace my steps back and be like, how did I get on this tangent? Hey Nate, how's it going? How did the rest of Donkey Kong Country go? Whoa, that's bad. Okay. Yeah, I mentioned something about how this is the only female robot master in all of the Mega Man games. It's the first and only. And Blue joked about how that's sexist, and I was like, yeah, it kinda is. I don't like how a lot of Japanese companies do this, where they'll make, like, sets of characters, and, like, let's look at, like, the Koopalings. That, like, okay, there's 7 Koopalings. You have the tall and skinny one, and you have the big strong one, and you have the cool one that wears sunglasses, and then you have the one that's a girl. And it's like, that's the wrong way of designing characters. And it's something I think about a lot as an artist who designs characters. And that's what got me on the tangent. And I have a friend who was once told me that he doesn't know how to design female characters, and I was like, what do you mean? You design them the same way you design all the other characters. Yeah, the final boss is pretty rough. I kind of wanted to stay to watch you finish it, but then I've, like, in fighting it myself and watching other streamers fight it, I was like, there's a high chance that this might take like an hour, and I can't do that because it's kind of convoluted how you even deal damage to him. Like, I've seen some streamers not have trouble even figuring out how to hit him and actually do damage and progress through the fight. Yeah, it's a lot of different, like, all the bosses in that game are very involved and have, like, all these different attacks that you have to learn how to dodge and such. Yeah, it's kind of, like, not even super clear that you're supposed to jump on his back, I guess. A lot of people probably think that throwing enemies at him is dealing damage, and I don't think it actually does deal any damage. So that's part of it. And then, yeah, it's a really tight hitbox on actually jumping on him, and then that gets worse as the fight goes on, of course, because he gets faster. It's a tough one. Still a great game, though. I'm glad that they ported it and gave it a second chance at life. I was talking to another streamer about that this morning, because they were saying about, like, I think you have 2 types of Wii owners, or Wii U owners. You have the Wii U owners that are like, now they're pissed because there's all these Switch games that are ports that they already have, and they're like, I don't want to buy them again. But then you also have the ones like me, where I'm like, well, the Wii U had good games that nobody played, so I think porting them and getting more people to play them is a really good idea. And it means I can save money. And I can spend that money on new games instead, which is also cool. It's kind of a win-win situation. Because, yeah, when I played Tropical Freeze on stream, I just replayed the Wii U version. I was like, I don't see a reason to get the new one. Easy mode Kong wasn't, like, enough to make me say, like, oh, I want to get that again. And then if there's any games that I did skip, I get to look forward to those as well. I skipped Captain Toad, so I'm looking forward to picking that up on Switch. I still wanted to get Hyrule Warriors, though, because I played that on Wii U, I got all the DLC. I played it on 3DS, I got all the DLC. And I still want more. Like, it was still a game that I feel like I'm not done with. I could definitely dump another couple 100 hours into it. I talked myself out of it solely because I was like, I could probably spend that money on new games instead. Damn it. But then I was watching somebody play it this morning, and I was like, damn, I want to play this game still. Checkers minigame. Mario Kart 8 is similar. I kind of want to get Mario Kart 8 just to play with viewers. But I played it for like almost 300 hours on Wii U. I feel like I don't need to buy it again. Certainly not at $60. So I think if I can catch it for cheaper, I'll probably pick it up again. Oh, would you look at that? Dr. Wily was behind it the whole time. You gotta be kidding me. I can't even, like, fake surprise there. The tough thing with Mario Kart 8 for me, too, is that when the game came out for the first time, it had, how do I... Oh, I thought I did select to come here for some reason. I really liked the item balance when Mario Kart 8 first came out. Like, it wasn't quite as chaotic, and I really enjoyed it. And then as the DLC packs went on and they updated the game, they completely, like, broke the items again, and now... Like, when the game first came out, it was actually a rarity to see even one blue shell a match. And it was wonderful, because, like, being good at the game actually mattered. It wasn't just about item luck. And then, like, now it's back to the state of you see, like, 3 or 4 blue shells and lightning bolts a match, and it's completely, like, it's almost unplayable. So if they would have switched the item balance back to the way it originally was when they released it on Switch, then it probably would have been a day one buy for me. I want to buy a mega tank. They're probably gonna give me one at some point. So I think I'm just gonna stock up on tanks. And I can't, like... No, I can't save. Alright, I want to get a drink really quick before... These fortress stages are pretty taxing. Yeah, when 8 first came out, it was great, because, like, I actually felt like I was good at the game. And then, yeah, the further it went on, I was like, oh, good, it's back to the old item balance, and it's completely unplayable again. But I know some people really like the item balance being like that, so... Anyway, I'll be back in just a minute. I actually made fun of someone once in a stream, and, like, I would have felt bad except for the fact that they confirmed that I was 100% right. I said about, like, you can tell if people like Mario Kart for the driving or the chaos with items based on which game they say is their favorite. If they say that they like Mario Kart Wii, that's their favorite game, then typically they like the complete and total chaos with the items. And, like... I felt like I was kind of, like, throwing shade, I guess, but then people confirmed it. They were like, yeah, Mario Kart Wii is my favorite one, and that's because I love the chaos of all these blue shells flying, like, once a lap. And I was like, oh, okay. I don't feel as bad for saying it, then. This goes on a little bit too long. Move along with it. Once again, really cool music, though. I think that's my favorite thing about Mega Man 9, is it has really cool music. Yeah, I really, like, I tend to pick my favorite Mario Karts based on the tracks. And I usually say N64 and DS. N64 had really good tracks in it, and DS had really good tracks in it. But yeah, drifting is really weird in Mario Kart 64. I still, like, to this day, if I go back and play Mario Kart 64, I'm like, how the hell do you drift even? Like, what is this game? That was dumb. Why did I even try to do that? I didn't think that was going to launch me that high. Alright, whatever. It's fine. Just have to keep an eye out for weapon energy drops. Could I not? Like, I promise I'm good at these games. Like, I've made such stupid mistakes, like, all night. These are definitely, like, those kind of games where, like, every time I die, I'm inventing a new way to do it. Okay, well, I would have liked some weapon energy, but what are you gonna do, I guess? Though I personally... If it weren't for the item balance in Mario Kart 8, that would easily be my most favorite game. Because Mario Kart 8 has really good tracks, it has an awesome soundtrack. The roster sucks, though. I will always take the opportunity to criticize that. I'm so stupid. I didn't even need to use Tornado Blow on that. Yeah, the gameplay of 8 is really good. Like, overall, it's a 10 out of 10 game, I feel. It has its downsides, mostly in that item balance is completely insane, and the roster is garbage. But other than that, like, everything else they do so well that it kind of makes up for it. Which, again, that was another one that I was like, I'm perfectly okay with them porting that to Switch, because if anybody missed it on Wii U, like, you get the full game and all of the DLC for $60. That's an incredible value. Have to be creative here. Not like that. Creative in a good way, not creative in ways of finding new ways to die. Alright, this is really bad now, because now I have just no weapon energy, so I'm gonna have to farm some enemies here to fix that. Which is my big concern with Mario Tennis, is that there's... Which, to disclaim and warn, I guess, I'm pretty sure the entire roster for Tennis Aces has been leaked. Because I think they were stupid and included info, like all the data for it in the demo, so people data mined it. So I think we know the whole roster already. I haven't looked because I don't want to know. I'd rather see it myself when it comes out. But my concern with the roster for Aces is that it's going to be the same thing as Mario Kart 8, where there's just going to be a lot of bloat and really uninteresting characters when they could have made, like, they could have added some really cool new ones. Like Pauline, I think that would have been a really cool character to have. Even put, like, Cappy in it. Like, why not? They already have, like, a freaking Boo. They could have done that. But I'm afraid there's gonna be a lot of bloat where it's like, why is this here? Yeah, like Metal Mario and Cat Peach and Boomerang Luigi and I used to lampoon the Mario Kart 8 DLC. Like, before they actually confirmed the DLC, and we saw that we were getting, like, Tanuki Mario and Cat Peach and stuff, I used to joke about how, like, they were gonna put, like, Ice Luigi and... I think Cat Toad was one of the ones I picked, and, like, Boomerang Rosalina, and... What was the one? One was, like, Peach, except she's wearing her hair down today. One was, like... Birthday suit Donkey Kong, and he just didn't have the tie. I was like, that roster was so bad, and like, I think it bothers me that not many people are that bothered by how bad the roster is. Like, a lot of people don't, it doesn't seem to faze them. Whereas, even when it was in development, I was like, this roster is so bad, what are they doing? Nice. That should... Good. We're full. Alright. Let's carry on with our lives. I think a good way of putting it is that, like, Mario Kart 7 had a bad roster too, but Mario Kart 8 made it look like a really good roster. It's like, that's how bad Mario Kart 8's roster was. Because 7 had some really weird picks, but ultimately, they were all at least creative ideas. Like, Wiggler and Honey Queen was kind of stupid, but it's not all 7 Koopalings. Ultimately, could be worse. Ow. I guess what I feel bad for is that usually when I say that the roster's bad, what I'm referring to is the Koopalings, and, like, a lot of people are like, they think the babies and the medals were worse. And it's like, I guess so. But then, like, most of the babies were there since Mario Kart Wii, so I feel like I can't even... they weren't a new problem. Let's put it that way. I don't want to use an energy tank on this, but I might have to. Because this guy is a... Oh, I don't have any Tornado Blow. Yeah, if I die here, I'm in big trouble. I think I'm gonna have to pop a tank. Yeah, there's way too many damn Koopas in Mario Kart 8. It's ridiculous. I mean, of course you gotta have Bowser, so I'm not expecting that they wouldn't have Bowser. But then you also have... You have all 7 Koopalings, plus Bowser Jr. in Deluxe, and Koopa Troopa, and Lakitu, and Drybones Bowser. I lost count. Like, it's just too much. And there's only one goddamn Donkey Kong character. What the actual hell? It doesn't make any sense. You couldn't even squeeze Diddy Kong in there? But that was just going too far for you guys, I guess. I just hope they're done, and that's not going to continue to plague games for, like, the foreseeable future. Ah! See, my biggest issue with the baby characters is... It's funny. My problem is that they could have picked more unique babies. That's my problem. Because... Like, there's so much redundancy. Like Baby Mario, okay, that's fine. That doesn't bother me that much. But then Baby Luigi is the same character. And then Baby Peach, okay, I guess that's alright. But then they were like, oh, Baby Daisy. It's like, alright, we're pushing it a little bit. And then they were like Baby Rosalina. And it's like, why? Why didn't you make it like Baby Donkey Kong or Baby Wario, who would have actually been different weight classes? Like, that's how you do it in an interesting way. I think Baby Rosalina was when I was like... That's when I was done with Rosalina. That's when I was like, okay, I used to like this character and now I don't because it's gone too far. I would have liked to get that, but that's okay. This is like the only point in the game where you actually use Rush Jet. It's kind of fucked. Yeah, I used to challenge people by saying, like... like, try and think of 10 characters that would have been better picks than the babies and the Koopalings, and it's rather easy to do. Like, especially given how many characters were missing in 8, like, because there's no Diddy Kong. You could have had Dixie Kong or Cranky Kong. You could have had more Donkey Kong characters still. You could have had Funky Kong in there. You could have had... You could have put K. Rool in there for shits and giggles. Why not? You could have had... You could put EGAD in. You could have put... Pauline. You could have put WarioWare characters in there. You could have put in Fawful from Mario and Luigi. From Superstar Saga and Bowser's Inside Story. You could have put Geno in there. You could have... Birdo is also missing. Like... With all of these options, they were like, no, let's put all of the Koopalings in. Like, that's the baffling thing to me. I don't even remember what boss this is. Isn't there... I think I can use Tornado Blow to speed this up, but I feel like I don't have to. Those kill you in one hit? I didn't know that. I don't think I've ever gotten hit by them. And yeah, I'm not a big fan of Spike. I remember when they put him in a Mario Party game and I was like, what? Like, this is pushing it. But ultimately, it's better than all of the Koopalings and Bowser Jr. Like, it's hard to argue with. Chain Chomp is a really cool idea. I'm glad they did that. I just hope there are some other cool surprises in there, is really all I'm getting at. I hope the rest of the... I hope who we don't have unlocked doesn't consist of, like, Bowser's army. Like, I hope it's not just Koopa Troopa, Shy Guy, Dry Bones, like, a Wiggler, Actually, a Charge and Chuck would be really, really funny, actually, even though it kind of doesn't make any sense. I'd be okay with that. But, like, if that's all that's remaining for the characters, that's going to be a little disappointing, I think. Damn it. Did I just get an achievement for beating a boss with 1 hit point? I think it would be fun if they did more crossover characters too. I can't like immediately think of who would be a good fit for tennis, but yeah, it's just funny that like when Mario Kart 7 came out, I was like, this is a bad roster, and now I'm like, every game should aspire to be like Mario Kart 8 and actually have like unexpected character picks. But I think what might make it okay in Tennis Aces is that, like, the characters that we already do know of, we have a pretty good selection of characters. So ultimately, I don't think it's gonna really bother me that much. That, and I feel like there's a pretty solid chance that they might do, maybe not necessarily DLC, but updates for Aces. So we might see more characters added over time anyway. Oops. Okay, Blue. Who do, are you gonna get Mario Tennis Blue? I'm not totally sure if you had any interest in that. Oh, right, you can't because of your Joy-Con being busted. You could, but probably wouldn't be able to get the most out of it. I was gonna say, like, who do you want to see in tennis? I think my big, like, the pick I would want to see most is probably Pauline. But even if they don't put Pauline in, I have Daisy, so we good. Well, that was potentially stupid, but... This is going rather poorly. You bitch. What, a girl chain chomp? And to cross over the discussion to Smash a little bit, I just hope we don't see anyone stupid. That's all I want. I don't want any new Dark Pits or anything. No more Fire Emblem characters, please. And let's not put in, like, 37 new third parties. I think that's a reasonable request. It's kind of sad that, like, I've definitely gotten to that point in my life where I'm like, I don't really care who they put in Smash Brothers as long as it's not this. I don't really have character hopes anymore. Ah, shit. This stage is kind of tedious. This is when 9 falls apart for me, as the fortresses get kind of not fun. I think my #1 desire for Smash at this point is actually Dixie Kong. It used to be Toad, but I think after replaying Tropical Freeze, I'm like, put Dixie in something. A new Donkey Kong character would be cool. K. Rool isn't relevant. Like, a lot of people want to see K. Rool, but it's like, who the hell's K. Rool? You kind of have to look at it from the perspective of... There's just no point. Like, he's not in Returns or Tropical Freeze, so a lot of people just aren't going to know who he is. And sure, they put, like, more obscure characters in every now and then, but... Even when it comes to obscure characters, I feel like there are better options. I think aside from not wanting to see anything really stupid, I also just hope that they don't cut any really cool characters. Like, if Sonic and Mega Man don't make it back, I'm gonna be really sad. Like, I'm really hoping that they'll even be a part of, like, the Smash presentation. That they'll just be like, yeah, we're not even gonna fuck around here. Here's Mega Man and Sonic. You know, I hope Pac-Man doesn't come back. I thought he was a pretty stupid character. There aren't many characters in 4 that I'm outright like, please cut this character, but he's one of them. Even before he was revealed and people were like, oh, well, Namco's working on it, so Pac-Man's gonna be in it. I was like, please no, that sounds terrible. And I do think they did the best they could with what they were dealing with, but I still don't think he was, like, a fun character. And I don't know if Namco is involved in this one. There's probably a better way to do this than with Buster, but screw it. Probably gonna have to pop a tank on this too. If they are working on it again, then chances are he's probably gonna come back. Unless they decide to outright be like, no more third-party characters, period. But I kinda doubt that. It's really tough for me because I think part of it is I get kind of not necessarily triggered, but I hate it when you see people speculating about Smash and like somebody's like, oh, what characters do you want to see? And I feel like the only thing people list off are third-party characters now. You don't hear anyone saying like interesting Nintendo characters. It's all third-party shit or like meme-y shit like Shrek and Goku. It's like nobody has like serious Nintendo ideas anymore. And that makes me go like, what has this series become? And what has this community become? So I like the idea of third parties being in there, but I also feel like 4 might have pushed it a little bit too far, because now that's all people want to see. It's not even just those. It's like... Oh, I think like half of the DLC was third-party characters. Like, that's kind of fucked. I don't think there was any actual Nintendo newcomers in the DLC, except for stupid Corn, but fuck him. Like, that was an awful character pick. But it was kind of unrelenting. You have so many guest characters in this game that in 4 that it's like kind of hard to swallow at times. Because at first it was fun. It was like, oh wow, Snake? Oh wow, Sonic? This is really cool. I wonder who they're going to do next. Mega Man would be really cool. And then, yeah, we saw Mega Man. And then after that, it was Pac-Man. And then after that, it was Shulk. And then after that, it was Ryu. And then after that, it was Bayonetta. And then after that, it was Cloud. And it was like, my god. Like, enough. It went from 2 third-party characters to, like, 7. It's just, it feels like it just went a little too far. Even though there are still third-party characters that I, like, really want to see in the game. But I kind of, like, keep them to myself now because I'm so tired of just hearing people say third-party characters. Like, I hate the fact that there are so many people that want to see Waluigi in Smash. And I think that's a terrible idea. And fuck, I just killed myself. I think Waluigi is an incredibly stupid idea for Smash. But he's actually a goddamn Nintendo character, so I give him credits for that. Like, at least they're not missing the point. I feel like, I guess maybe it's that since I've grown up with Smash Brothers since the beginning, I have a different idea of what I think Smash Brothers is. And, like, kids these days, I think, have a completely different idea. Like, they look at it as... I wonder how much... what other crazy shit can we put in here? It's not necessarily about, like, who would be a good fit, or who deserves it, or anything like that. It's just, well, what would be the craziest thing that we can do? And hey, Raph, welcome back. I did have a feeling that you stepped away because Blue was trash-talking you, and... No, I'm kidding. She wasn't actually trash-talking you. No, she said something like, spoiler alert, Raph likes turtles, and I was like, I really think Raph should be the one to reveal that to his friends and loved ones. I don't think he would appreciate you revealing personal information like that. And yeah, Raph, you're not wrong, but on the other hand, I don't think I would personally want to see Smash turned into, like, a yearly franchise type of game. I think it would be cool if they do what they do with ARMS and Splatoon and, like, have regular updates for it for a while. Like, I think that would be cool. Nice. But yeah, I feel like this Smash is almost too quick after 4. But I think they also realized that 4 did not do well because it was on a console nobody owned. And people are buying up the Switch like crazy. It's a good business decision to put it on Switch as quickly as possible. I hope the game doesn't suffer as a result. But I feel like they definitely... I don't think they should make more than one Smash per console. I think that seems unnecessary. And I think people are going to start bitching, like, really quick if they start doing that. Because I feel like we only just got away from the yearly release bullshit, right? Like, a lot of the companies that used to abuse that have kind of, like, slowed down, finally. I think Call of Duty's the only one that still has a yearly entry, and even then, those games have sucked for the longest time, so, like, it's not really something anyone talks about anymore. But, like, people hated that. Like, people hated having to buy a new game every year. Like, no one liked that. I've heard people say that they want Splatoon to be like that. They should release a new Splatoon every year. And I was like, no. You guys didn't like it when Ubisoft and EA and Activision were doing it. Yet now you're like, oh, Nintendo should do that. It's like, make up your minds. I think the way they're doing Splatoon with the expansion is, like, the correct way to do it. Oh, shit. What am I doing on only one life, only one tank? This is... yeah, I start to not like Mega Man 9, like, the further I get into it. I started out loving it. I was like, oh yeah, this game's good. I forgot how awesome this game was. And now I'm kind of like, can I just be done with this, please? I kind of want to move on to 10 already. Oh yeah, so you weren't here for that part. I don't think anyone was here for that part, actually. So, Mega Man 8 came out in 1996. This game came out in 2008. So, there was a 10-year hiatus before they made another Mega Man game. And when they decided to do it, they decided to go back to the NES look because nobody liked 7 and 8. So whenever people wanted a new Mega Man game, they were like, make it like the NES ones. So they did, for better or worse. Alright, Nate, thanks for hanging out for a bit. Oh my god. I feel like I didn't press the jump button that long. I'm actually not sure how much longer I'm going to be going. I think I might go a little late tonight just for the sake of finishing 9. Because then next Mega Man stream I can move straight on to 10. Oops. I am just like progressively playing stupider at this point. Yup. Expected. Yeah, I'm just gonna continue. But I am gonna take a quick bathroom break before I continue here. Don't go anywhere though, because I am hoping... My goal is to finish up Mega Man 9, and then after that we're probably going to go raid somebody if anybody is live. But that, of course, depends on enough people sticking around for it. Okay, what'd I miss? What are you talking about, Blue? Oh, your warrior cat thing. God, my hair is really starting to drive me crazy. I desperately need a haircut. We hit 10 likes, I just noticed. You guys know what that means. Pixels for everyone. Hey Galactictron, how's it going? You're just in time for pixels. Okay, enough screwing around. Let's finish this damn game. Good one, Raph. You have, like, tens of thousands of pixels anyway, so you're fine. I wonder if I can get another Mega Tank since I game overed. That would be helpful. Yeah, that's why I want to make. That's why I do want to make the command that makes some fancy effect on screen, and that costs, like, to use Dan's numbers, costs 1,000 pixels and gives everybody in chat 100. I want to do something like that for you guys that are pooling, like, more than you know what to do with. I definitely want to create, like, more things to do with pixels without making them all mini-games. Because the mini-games get so spammy in chat. I'd prefer come up with fun things to do that don't involve spamming chat. Oh, you can only carry one Mega Tank. Never mind, I'm dumb. I don't know if I've ever had a meat lover's omelet. I've definitely made omelets with meat in them. Not like a wide variety of meat, though. I do like omelets, though. I usually just make them with, like, cheese. I should try, like, I found this recipe once that was, like, a no-mess omelet. I should try and do those again sometime. The concept was basically you boil a pot of water, and then you scramble the eggs into a freezer bag, toss all the ingredients in, seal it, mix it up good, and then you dunk it in the boiling water for, like, 5 minutes, and it cooks it, and then you don't have to, like, do any dishes. But I remember it, like, not working entirely as well as I'd hoped. I should try and refine it and see if I can make it work better somehow. Now, like, now I'm hungry for an omelet, so now I'm tempted to do that tonight. I don't think we have anything for omelets other than eggs, though. I don't think we have cheese or anything. We have, like, sliced cheese, so I guess I could, like, dice that up and put it in or something. I don't know, though. At the same time, it kind of sounds like a lot of work. That sounds about right. I'm not a big fan of ham, but when it's in something like that where it's mixed with other stuff, I don't mind it as much. Oh shit, I missed it. I'm trying to focus on like learning the pattern here and not waste my weapon energy. In fact, I'm just gonna end it because I'm gonna need full health for this. When I just took a break, I was actually thinking about making a sandwich. So now you've got me thinking, should I make an omelet instead? Okay, I think I got this down. I kind of wish I had some nice restaurants, like, in walking distance. Because I'm usually up, like, first thing in the morning. Like, I'm still awake. I don't go to sleep until, like, 10 o'clock in the morning, so if I had, like, a nice cafe or something nearby that I could walk to, I'd probably go on a regular basis. But then I'd probably spend a lot more money than I do. So that's also not good. We have a pretty good pizza place, but they probably don't open very early. That's probably in walking distance. Two pizza places, actually. And the other one is probably even closer. That's definitely walking distance. It kind of sucks that, like, I live in Pennsylvania, so the way the weather has been here is, like, it went from cold, like, it went from too cold to go out for a walk to too hot to go out for a walk in, like, a week. So I'm constantly criticizing myself for, oh, I need to be more active, but the weather's just never nice for it. And I'm constantly using it as an excuse to not do things. Yum. Alright, we are in the final stretch here. I don't think I'm gonna need bombs. I think that's more likely than concrete shots, though, so I'm gonna fill that up. Yeah, a lot of people make claims like that. Where I lived in Virginia, there was this place that had it was a damn gas station that had up on their sign like best burgers like this side of the coast, and I was like, I almost want to try one just to see if it's actually good, but I bet it's not. It's marketing though. It's like all the doofuses that play Fortnite and all their stream titles and thumbnails are like best such and such on such and such a platform. Whoops. Well, whatever. I can destroy this guy with just the Buster. Do 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 do. Thank you. Goodbye. Do, 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 do. Well, son of a bitch. Actually, it didn't hit me. Oh! Ow! Ugh! This is bad. This is so bad. Oh my goodness. Yeah, basically. Yeah, so like any restaurant claiming best, it's like the real world equivalent of clickbait, basically. Like you nailed it. I actually saw one the other morning that was like best female player on console, and I was like, really? Not sure if surprised or not. Nice. I saw one this morning that was like, if I don't win once every hour, I'm gonna uninstall Fortnite. And I was like, well, that's creative at least. You're not gonna actually do it, because people are addicted to that game, so nobody's gonna put their fate in. Even somebody who's confident in their abilities isn't gonna make a gamble like that. I didn't even think. Well, that's if it even has video recording, which it might not at first, because I think Nintendo has to like approve that. But you're not wrong. I'm sure we're gonna see even more specific thumbnails coming too, because right now you do see like best Fortnite player on console, so you're gonna start seeing like best Fortnite player on Switch, best Fortnite player on mobile, best Fortnite player on PS4. Like, those thumbnails are so ridiculous, because they all claim they're the best, and then there's, like, all these qualifiers involved, where they're like, best player that plays on PS4 that has over 100 kills. And it's like, really? Like, it gets so specific, to the point where you can't tell them that they're lying, because there's no way to prove all that shit. It's really dumb. But it's a competitive market. That's what they have to do. Ultimately, people who stream Fortnite are only doing so because people will only watch a Fortnite streamer if they're good, right? Or if they have like really good commentary. But typically, they're gonna have to be really good at the game. And that's something people don't realize when you see a lot of kids coming into streams like, why don't you stream Fortnite? Like, you'll get you'll get so many views. And it's like, not necessarily. It's not actually that easy. That went much more smoothly. Who was the last one I fucked up and died to? Oh, Magma Man, I think. Which, this might be ugly. I might actually have to use a tank or something on this. He just wasn't playing nice. And he still isn't. Okay, Dick. It's either tank or die. Is 4 tanks gonna be enough for the final boss? I hope so. I actually have to remember what to do against this guy. I don't remember if he has if he necessarily has a weakness. This is gonna get hairy. Spoiler alert. And I'm probably not gonna be able to check chat while I'm doing this. Actually went really smoothly. Yeah, if I was good at Fortnite, I'd be pretty confident that I could stream it and get some good views, but I'm not, I don't really have an interest in being that good at competitive games like that, so that's kind of the problem there. I just wouldn't enjoy it, so it wouldn't be fun to watch. Shit. I thought that was gonna hit me. Damn. Trying to fake him out. Oh, come on. Well, need another tank. I kind of get it, though. I feel like... I think there are 2 types of viewers that request people play a game like that. I think a lot of people are like, well, I like watching this streamer, and and this game is super trendy, and I like watching this, so therefore I would like watching this streamer play this game. And that's kind of flawed logic, but I think they have the best intentions in mind there. But then you also have the people who recommend it just because they're being trolls. They're like, lol, play Fortnite. And that goes for a lot of things, like Fortnite, Minecraft, Roblox, Five Nights at Freddy's. Baldi's Basics is a big one right now. Like, all of a sudden I started hearing about that, like, a lot. And I was like, what the fuck is Baldi's Basics? 4:30? What for? I think we're almost done here anyway, Blues. That's no problem. Thanks for sticking it out. I am off tomorrow, but I'll be back on Sunday then. Oops. Wow, I got the achievement for beating him quickly. This is a fun ending, though. I want you to see something, Wily. This is where you first went wrong. Then this time, and this time, and this time. So, like, these are all the different games that we've, like, just been playing through. So, if anyone's was paying close enough attention. Well, with the exception of that last one, I think that's supposed to be Mega Man and Bass, which is not a part of the collection for unknown reasons. But I like how he's also in every shot using the appropriate weapon that was used to beat the boss of that game. In most cases. Apparently you're supposed to use the wild coil against him in 7. I don't think I knew that. I should try that out at some point. Blah 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 blah. Well, I probably am gonna wrap it up here. I was planning on going a little bit later because I thought this was gonna take me longer to beat. That turned out to not be the case. As much as I want to go on a raid, I don't think there's enough people here to raid. But feel free to give me a roll call of who all's here. And if we do have enough, then we'll definitely do a raiding thing. And as I said, I am off tomorrow. Sunday is gonna be a random Switch game chill stream. So I'm probably gonna start with Pokemon Quest, and then I might do like a Sonic Mania playthrough. I might play some more Skyforce because Dan has me addicted to that. Might talk about like E3 predictions and such. It's hard to say because YouTube lies in terms of viewers. Unfortunately, I think I get a lot of people who like lurk and they never say anything, which is totally fine. I'm perfectly okay with that. But I feel like those people also tend to leave without wanting to go on raids or anything, which that kind of sucks. Even that's fine, I guess. It's just I like to send off raids if I can, but I'd say I'm only able to like 50% of the time. And I don't know when when my next Mega Man stream is gonna be. Since I did finish this up with pretty appropriate timing, it'll definitely be Mega Man 10 next time I stream it. But I don't think I have... First of all, my schedule's going to be really screwy because of E3 next week. Actually, maybe I did schedule one. I kind of forget. But yeah, Sunday will be just kind of hanging out and playing random stuff. Monday and Tuesday, I'm probably going to be off both of those days. And then hopefully I'll be back Wednesday night. But we'll see how that goes, because since I'm a night owl, I'm going to have to be adjusting my schedule quite a bit to do any of the E3 stuff. Which game is the best? I've been trying to figure that out as I'm playing here. And like tonight was kind of enlightening. in regards to that. Personally, my favorite one is Mega Man 4. Most people will tell you that 2 or 3 are the best ones. I personally don't love 2. 2's a pretty good game, but it's like... I feel like other games like refined the formula a little bit better. 3 is really solid, except 3 has like a massive difficulty spike in it that's kind of frustrating. I think 4 is the best in terms of like... It's not too frustrating, the bosses are all pretty fun and they have some cool mechanics, the music's all pretty cool. I think that's kind of where the gameplay is really like at its best. But yeah, as I've been replaying through these, I've been trying to rank them all and be like, these are the ones I like in which order. Some of them are still tricky, like... I definitely feel like I played Mega Man 8 just to play it. I wasn't really looking forward to playing Mega Man 8. I just kind of did it because I was setting out to play them all. So that sets that one pretty low. Even up there with Mega Man 1, maybe? Because, like, I don't think 1 has aged very well. And then this one I wasn't enjoying as much as I was expecting either. When I was doing the Masters, it was fine, but then once I got to the, that's a pretty solid clear time for first time I've played the game in a while. Once I got to the Fortress, it got frustrating. The Direct is at 9 o'clock Pacific time. AM, not PM. It's 9 AM. Noon East Coast. My skill at geography is terrible, so I know you mentioned both Missouri and Kansas. That's what, Central Time? So it probably is... I don't know. I don't know. 10 or 11? The big thing to take away is that it's definitely AM, not PM. But yes, it is January 12th. Or June 12th. And yeah, it's 9 AM Pacific time, noon Eastern time on Tuesday. That's for the Direct. And then there's other stuff going on too, of course. But the Direct is going to be the only thing I'm personally going to cover. I wanted to stream and just kind of hang out and draw stuff while watching the Treehouse stuff. But, I don't know. There were a few complications with that, and I'm not feeling super good about doing it now. So I'm going to do a live reaction for the Direct, and that'll be up on my channel. But other than that, that's going to be the only coverage I do. Otherwise, honestly, I'm probably just going to hang out with my guys on Discord while watching Treehouse and the other stuff and just chat about it. But yeah, since I usually go to sleep at like 10 in the morning, so E3 is happening like when I would normally be asleep, so I'm shifting my schedule around to be able to watch all of that. And then ideally afterwards, I'm gonna start streaming earlier, because I'm kind of critical of myself, and in regards to like I should be streaming more, and I feel like that's the best way to do it, is I'll shift my schedule around so that I'm waking up more comfortably with time to prepare, and then start streaming earlier. And then I'll probably still go until around noonish. And of course, like, Galactictron kept me busy chatting long enough that like people are tuning in just in time for me to end. But don't go anywhere, because if there's people here and they want to do it, we'll go raid another streamer, and then we can just hang out with them. I was just saying a bit ago, personally, my favorite Mega Man game is Mega Man 4. Honorable mentions are probably 7 and 3. I think 3 is really good, it just has a frustrating difficulty spike in it. And 7's good for what it is. I'll put it like that. Who do I even have online? I don't know if I actually have anyone online to raid. It's kind of a problem. But yeah, I'm trying to, as I'm playing through all of these games again, I'm trying to rank them and say like this is the order of what I like, of like most favorite to least favorite. And that's been kind of enlightening, because like I was saying that Mega Man 8, I was kind of playing it just to play it. Didn't really love it. Wasn't really excited to do it. 9 is okay. I didn't love 9 as much as I remembered liking it though. Once I got into the fortresses, I started getting kind of frustrated and just not having fun. But so I'm gonna think about that throughout tonight and try to keep putting my ranking together. But anyway, yeah, if Galactictron, if you're still here, and if Ald, if you'd like to go on a raid, I can put one together super quick. But it looks like you might have left, so I think it might just be Galactictron again. I don't know, it might be a little too early to talk about the Mario movie. And I don't know if they would do that at E3, because that's like a different type of media. Kind of like how they never talk about their mobile plans during directs. They usually make a direct specifically for it. So I don't know if it's super likely that they'll talk about that. That, and they're probably still writing the script for that movie. Like, I feel like they only just recently started working on it. It's probably way too early. But I also think it's just the wrong crowd. People don't announce movies at E3. That's not something that happens. I think that would be the wrong... It would be better to do it at, like, a PAX or something. That would be where they'd reveal that, I think. But chances are they're just going to do their own press conference at some point for that. Once the time comes. I think it's a little too early for that. But yeah, anyway. We'll, yeah, we're gonna call it a night here. And yeah, I'm off. Well, I'm scheduled off tomorrow, but like, if I'm bored, I might stream anyway. So I might do something smaller tomorrow. Oh, you are still here. Do you wanna go on a raid with us then? I think I have a good target. And I could see... I don't hate Mega Man 8. A lot of people do, but I don't. It's just... It's very different. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just kind of boring at points. I'm not sure where I'm going to place it on my ranking. It's not going to be bottom, that's for sure. Like I said, that's something I'll think about. Maybe I'll tease and say next Mega Man stream. Maybe as I finish 10, I'll reveal my ranking list. But I have no idea when I'm going to do Mega Man 10. So anyway, let me dig up our raid target here. James Clark? That doesn't sound familiar. I don't know a James Clark, no. Alright, so yeah, if you guys would like to join me here, we're gonna head over with a hashtag Nintagious raid, and here is the link. We're going to Flapper's channel. He's playing an old TurboGrafx JRPG by the name of Yeast, I believe it's called. And if the link doesn't work, the channel name is just Flapper, so I'll put that in chat for you too. So I'll see you guys over there for a mini raid, and then maybe I'll see you guys again tomorrow, or tomorrow if I wind up streaming. If not, maybe on Sunday.